Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm bringing you a new segment that I'm going to call What Really Gets My Goat. And I'm bringing it to you, the first one, with the summer edition. So, before we get into this, I've had a few people that comment on my videos, and although the mass majority of the comments that I've received have been nice comments, there have been one or two that aren't. So I thought, you know what? Ceaseless commentary is an issue. People don't like my voice. I'm going to make more videos. I'm going to make lots more videos with my voice in them, just talking incessant rubbish for 10, 20 minutes at a time. Because do you know what? Life is too short to care about what people think about you. You know, so what my voice might be annoying. So what that I stumble over words in previous videos. Sadly, that's a thing, you know. I promise to get better at it. I mean, I don't tend to stumble so much when I'm not reading from a script, thank God. So, without further ado, shall we get into this video? I think we shall. So, in good old Blighty, the United Kingdom, good old England, you might be wondering, summer edition? Since when does England ever have a summer? It just rains there. Well, let me assure you, we do have a small slice of summer, usually in about August. I mean, unless it's bank holiday weekend, in which case, yes, we will have sun for 3 or 4 days and then rain. Miserable, miserable rain. So the first thing that really gets my goat in the summer is ants. Now, you're probably thinking, ants? What's wrong with ants? You know, yeah, if you live in a town or a city, you probably don't have this issue because, you know, ants don't tend to be a problem for people that live in the city. I mean, ants don't have anywhere to make nests in the city, so why would you have an issue? But in the countryside, the good old countryside where I live, ants are an issue. They will get one whiff of some sweet treat you've eaten or some drink that you have open and you will be swarmed. I mean, it's like in the movies where they portray people having a really nice picnic and then the ants swarm in. Okay, maybe it's not that dramatic, but still. Ants are the bane of my existence. Because I live in the countryside, you know, you can't leave anything unattended. Like, you cannot leave a cup with, like, tea in it anywhere. You can't leave a can, like a half-drunk can of fizzy drink. You can't leave that lying around. Because if you leave that lying around overnight, an ant, one singular little horrible creature ant, will come along and it will find that can or that drink or whatever it is that you've left out that isn't, you know, that's sweet, and they will call in the forces and you will wake up in the morning and there'll be ants everywhere. And considering up until about 2 years ago I lived in a town and I didn't think ants were that big of a deal, moving to the countryside taught me a lesson, a valuable lesson. Don't leave anything out that those little buggers can get into, because once they're in, you know, you have to really, like, be drastic to get rid of them. Talking of being drastic to get rid of things, next up is the good old wasp. Yeah. Again, when you live in a town or a city, probably not such a big deal. In the country, oh no. No. These little buggers, they will decide that they're going to hold your trash can hostage. Yeah, they will hold it hostage. You won't be able to get into it until they decide they've had enough and they leave. You could be just hanging around outside and one will randomly chase you. You can't have a picnic in peace because they will infiltrate, because they are after the sweet goodness, whatever it is that you've got. They're like the ants, but vicious. Like, you know, at least with an ant, you can pack up your stuff, you can leave, and, you know, you can brush the ants away. With a wasp, however, you can't exactly do that unless you want to be stung. Because they are... how do I put it? They're like a meta bee. Like, bees, okay. Wasps, oh God. And one other thing I learned about living in the country and wasps and summer is I knew there was other types of wasp. Like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't that stupid to think that the only type of wasp was the yellow and black stingy wasp. No, no, no. I have learnt that there are several types of parasitic wasp that they won't hurt you because they don't hurt humans, because they're not interested in you. They're only interested in laying their eggs on caterpillars so that caterpillar can become their zombie host for their eggs, right? I've learnt that. But it doesn't stop them from flying in the house. It doesn't stop them from, oh, the window's open, let me just flap on in here and buzz around angrily for half an hour whilst the terrified human tries to find a way to put me outside. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, I've learnt these things living in the country that, yeah, okay, I knew they existed, but like, the fact that I've seen many of them now and it's like, oh no. So straying on from wasps, bees. Now, I generally don't have a problem with bees. I don't like them. They terrify me. Terrify me down in the deep pit of my stomach. But I know that they probably won't hurt me, unlike a wasp. A bee, a lot more friendly. Bumblebees, for example, they really don't bother you. They're more interested in the plants in your garden. Carpenter bees, interested in eating your patio or your wooden decking. Fine. Honeybees? Honeybees are a different story. They follow you. They will follow you around because they decide they like people. They'll see someone, they'll fly past a human and they'll decide, I like this person, and they'll follow them. Which is kind of unnerving and off-putting because you think. Your brain instantly goes to, this bee is going to attack me, so you flail. That's how you get stung. Yeah, that's how you get stung. As a comedian, Michael McIntyre once did in a sketch about the 3 different types of people. There are the swatters that are like, flap, flap, go away. There are the standstillers, which are the people that, if you just stand still, it'll leave you alone. Yeah, okay, fine. Then there are the panickers. They are the people that, nope, it's over. They scream, they flail, they flap their hands. They are the ones who should get stung, but they don't tend to. Although, you can get stung from flapping around a bee. It tends to be the people that stay still that get stung. I don't know why, it's very strange. But bees, they come in droves in the summer. I mean, you could live in a town, you could live in the country. You're going to see bees and you're going to see wasps if you live in a town. Probably not as much as when you live in the country. I mean, I have seen many bees. Many, many bees. And it leads me to wonder where the hell they all came from. But, it's bug life, I suppose. So, So, we previously mentioned that England, it constantly rains. Okay, let me tell you that is a lie. If you're looking for constant rain, you probably want to head up towards Scotland. They have the worst weather. But still, in England, in the summer, there is one long stretch of heat. And there are several, small heats. On a bank holiday, the heat seems to just go through the roof. And it's hot, and it's beautiful. And I die, because I personally can't stand the heat. And it's not because it's warm. And it's not because the sun's out, which, most people that know me would say, oh, you just don't like the sun. No. I don't like when it gets so hot in England that the humidity index is at 90% or more. Because you move and you sweat. You stay still and you sweat. You just literally move your pinky toe and you're sweating. That's the kind of heat I hate. When the humidity is so high that you are just constantly a sweat machine. It's not comfortable, it's not pretty, it's horrible. And it doesn't matter how many showers you take in a day, on a hot, hot summer's day, you will just sweat profusely. You could go in the shower, take a nice cool shower to cool your body off. You'll be fine in that shower. You'll think, oh, this is beautiful, this is wonderful. I feel so cool and I feel so not sweaty and I feel wonderful. And then you take one step outside that shower and it's like, oh God, I'm sweating. Oh, I'm dying. That's English summer. We have rain intermittently within, cloudy days and whatnot, up until about August, July, August time. And then we have heat, maybe most of July, pretty much all of August. And then it starts to cool down. You think, brilliant. And then September rolls around and you get that, what they call an Indian summer, where the heat just suddenly skyrockets again and you're sweating your eyeballs out. Like, we're not like Spain or Portugal or any of the other like European countries that have good heat, like good dry heat, like Morocco and Greece, where their heat is dry. You will tan a lovely golden brown because you are not. There is no humidity. In England, however, there is so much humidity that you will burn. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, okay, I am a very, very pale person. I have very, very fair skin. So going out in the sun for me, I have to be very careful. I will get sunburn. Like, it's inevitable. Sunburn will happen. And I won't tan. I will go completely red like a lobster. Then I will peel like a snake. Then I'm pale again. I can't win. So, for me, it's sort of like, But I bet if I went somewhere like Corfu or Cyprus or, one of those hot countries where they have dry heat, I reckon I could tan. Or at least give it a good go. So that's one of the downsides of English heat. It's not the fact that it's hot, because whatever. It's the humidity index that comes with that heat. And with the heat comes one of the most awful things in the world is that it suddenly becomes acceptable for people to strip off all their clothes and walk around in a pair of shorts. Like, you will see men wandering around in their shorts with no shirt on, going to buy their Stella Artois and have a garden party. And then you'll see women wandering around in their bikini tops with a pair of shorts on, and it's like suddenly the world becomes, I don't know, derobed. Like, you see people, out in their shorts with no shirts on, and it's like, okay. But then that trend follows into the winter when you see men walking around in shorts when it's cold, and you think, what? Do you just live in shorts? I mean, the beer gardens become overflowed with people wanting to drink their Stella or their Carling or their Carlsberg, and the women with their WKDs and stuff. It's like all the creatures come out of the woodwork when summer arrives. And you see so many burnt people walking around because they clearly have no regard for themselves and have decided to get sunburnt. So, I just talked about the heat. Of course, that means that there is rain. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's raining right now. I am sitting here recording this video, looking out of my window, and it is raining. It has been raining for 2 days now, where I live. Possibly 3. But today, it has been raining non-stop. Like, I opened the door earlier to let the dog out into the backyard so that she could, do her morning business. And I got soaked just standing, waiting for her to come back in. It's one of them days. It's one of them summers. We're in June and we're still getting rain like it's March. But yeah, that's the unfortunate part of it. With the heat and the humidity, there is always going to be rain. It happens every time. We'll have a week of decent, well, I wouldn't even call it decent. Like I said, I don't like the heat. But we'll have a week of heat. Beautiful sunny days and hot weather, and then rain. Rain will inevitably follow. And with that rain, generally in the summer, comes a thunderstorm. Once you've had the heat, and a lot of people, I imagine a lot of people would know this if you went to school and you studied science, that when the humidity gets so high, things like thunderstorms do happen. It's to do with the humidity and all that. I'm not even going to go into it because I can't remember most of it. I mean, I haven't been to school for 13 years, so don't hold me in any way responsible for dodgy learning tactics. But, generally when it gets too hot, the air pressure and all that stuff happens and a thunderstorm will occur. Whatever. Don't mind the thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are not an issue. I think they're quite nice. I'm just sad that our thunderstorms are a 1-2 pop done kind of deal. I envy other countries where they have a decent thunderstorm that lasts 2 to 3 hours and you get flash, 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 crash, crash, crash. An English thunderstorm is literally kaboom, flash, nothing for 10 minutes, then kaboom, flash, then nothing. Like, our storms generally don't last long. You know, I remember when I was a child, they used to say about counting the time between the flash of light and the boom of thunder to work out how many miles away the storm was, or was it the boom of thunder and then the flash of light? I can't remember. But it was to count the time between, and you could, like, in seconds, and however many seconds you counted was how many miles away the storm was. Like, doing that as an adult, you sit there and you're like, oh yes, 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant. And then you're sitting there and you're up to like 45 elephants and you're like, well, this storm really that far away, you know? And then it disappears. But if that isn't terrible, you know, the ants, the bees, the wasps, the sweltering heat, then the rain, and everything in between, everybody's nemesis, the mosquito. This little bug, and they aren't very big, is the bane of most people's existences. If, like myself, you are actually allergic to mosquitoes, it proves to be an interesting thing in the summer when you're doing everything in your power to stop them from biting you. Because, God forbid, they bite you and you swell up like a balloon. I've ended up having to go to hospital twice in my lifetime when I was a teenager. Mostly because one bit me on my face and my face swelled up and I looked like Quasimodo from Notre Dame. And the second time, or maybe it was the time before that, one bit me on my hand and my hand swelled up like one of those foam hands that you see at baseball games. I generally am allergic to mosquitoes. Thankfully, they don't tend to bite me very often. But I tend to be allergic to them, which is sad that I'm allergic to an insignificant tiny little bug. But still, I digress. They are the bane to most people's existence. You want to have a garden party? That's fine. Just don't hang out near any of the trees. Stay away from the grass. Don't sit too close to any water feature. You'll be fine, because those things are everywhere. Living in the countryside, those things are everywhere. I live probably 30, 40 feet from a river. So mosquitoes are a thing, a very big thing, and I don't like them. Thankfully, like I said though, they don't tend to come in. I don't know whether it's they don't enjoy my blood. I mean, it could be a thing. You know, there are certain blood types that mosquitoes don't actually like biting. Like, they'll get bitten, but it's not something that will happen. But yeah, generally speaking, mosquitoes are the bane of everyone's existence. Because you don't know you've been bitten until the next day, when a lumpy lump, an itchy lump appears and you have to scratch it. You have to scratch it, you have to itch it. You can't help yourself. And you scratch, and you end up gouging it and it bleeds and the itch is gone and it feels wonderful. And then you're left with a scar because of that nasty little bug. So, you know, death to all mosquitoes. Death to them all. So, that's it. I felt like I had to have a little rant and I called it what really gets my goat, the summer edition. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. I do have Twitter. It's should be linked in the description box. But yeah, you know, let me know what you think of this new segment. I'm trying to, you know, put my own touch into my videos instead of just being another random, like, basically Reddit commentary channel. Like, I want to branch out and do... I smacked the microphone, isn't that great of me? I want to do my own stuff, you know. I want to talk about things that I want to talk about, not necessarily just read someone else's experiences. But yeah, so let me know what you think. And to be quite honest, if you're going to leave something negative or you're going to leave something that doesn't help me, like if you're just going to leave hate comments, please don't even bother wasting your time. I don't take hate comments on board, honestly. I tend to just ignore them. Or give you a equally sarky reply, because to be quite honest, if you don't like a video, there's no need for you to leave sarky comments or, generally nasty comments. Just hit the dislike button if you don't like the video. I don't know, but don't go leaving horrible comments. I'm trying to keep a nice comment section, a friendly comment section. Maybe people could leave their thoughts on the subjects that I covered today and, have a nice discussion about it. But for now, I will bid you adieu, and I will see you next time for the next edition of What Really Gets My Goat. Catch you guys later. Stay smart.